don't feel. Cause when she do, I don't know what I'ma do. All that I heard that y'all was talking, it was comical. Pull up in your city for the evening, what you tryna do? Cause I'm open to it. I know that you missing, but you gon' get through it. I can help with it if you need that. Go and bring the beat back. I don't really listen to the feedback, nah. Told me that she good, she don't need Jack, nah. I'm real proud of the steps you took just to get to the place that you're at today. I couldn't tell you to you straight, I gotta estimate. I wonder if I ought to go here with the best to say. Now go ahead, get me out of here, I couldn't last today. I got the city talking about me like I passed away. Automatic is a habit, you should know it's automated. I've been getting to it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'm in these.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Miami Dolphins. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now a first down throw for Newton. And his first look is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Newton. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there. First down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. The drive keeps moving.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Newton. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Dolphins' 47-yard line.
Herbert now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterback's got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Herbert. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Camara. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And it's caught, the tight end Hill. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now Lutz for the field goal try. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Jakeem Grant on the return. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there for the Dolphins. And even 50 yards on the ground. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They run with Harris. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a...
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment that allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This will make it into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
2nd and 5.
Out of the gun, Herbert. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Harris. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run the counter. Harris. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, here's Newton. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on second down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line.
Complete.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
22 yards.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 46-yard line.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara.
The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it.
And the Dolphins have got it. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
The ball carrier.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Complete.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. It's 1st and 10 from the 12, and they'll go on the ground. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints.
Complete.
Michael Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints are back within a score. That's one of those touchdown tosses where if it's an inch to the right or left, it's not a touchdown. He had to put it right on the money.
Yeah, and how did he do that? Everything around him, everything swirling, all the coverage downfield. Somehow he spotted the opening and put it right there.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Matt Milano. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds. Says the line judge, and it's going to bring up 4th down. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. On the ground, this is Kamara. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Second and 11 now. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
And the Saints 1st down.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 13-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Now a handoff looking right. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that brings up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The shotgun snap for Newton. And this will be incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get...
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. From the gun, Herbert. The catch is made by Dillon Mitchell. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
But it's 3rd down.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Herbert. He can run for it, and he will.
Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, Herbert. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Herbert. Complete. This is Mitchell. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
New Orleans.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Herbert. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Taken in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
At the 50-yard line.
From the 50, here's Herbert. He'll let this go for the end zone. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the Saints' 45-yard line.
From the gun, Newton. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Newton. Got his man, it's Caldwell. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
21-yard line.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Here we go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Throw left side complete. It's Caldwell. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19.
A gain of only...
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. On the option, here's Newton. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
On 2nd down now. It's Harris. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Let me breathe for a minute, man. Here we go again.
Off play action. Newton. They'll roll him out right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Devontae Parker, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins head on to their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking long for Thomas. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Quez Watkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 34. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
The 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Harris. yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They'll run again with Harris. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
3rd and 3.
A give to Harris, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
Jason Sanders on for the field goal. A 48-yard attempt.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On second down, here's Herbert. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football.
At their own
Elsewhere, second half action at Heinz Field. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
on the carry.
Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Working with 2nd and 5 now. They'll run with Harris. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
10 more there and another first down.
5-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Here we go.
They hand this off to Harris. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes
In the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Complete.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Gets this into him. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Herbert, he's going to rifle one deep left. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
1st and goal.
Give him 30 yards there. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Short of the goal line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there.
Short of the goal line.
Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it, and I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Dolphins celebrate their goal line stand. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Been a very strong performance for them really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now obviously they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now it's Newton going to keep it himself.
It's a first down on a gain of 10.
But I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run again with Harris.
And he'll have a Dolphins first down as the tackle made at the 26-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for the Dolphins, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Houston Texans next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside our entire